So hi everyone, this month I'm really excited to chat to Chert, who's the founder of Dope Media. So welcome Chert, we're super excited to have you. This month we're going to dive into some of the details on how brands can use paid social and email marketing together to build long-term personalized relationships. So firstly, I'd love you to give a bit of background into Dope Media and what you guys do.
Okay. Hi, Georgie. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to talk with you about this topic. So Dope Media is a digital marketing agency focusing on scaling e-commerce and service-based brands online. Our framework consists of three main pillars. The first one is PPC, where we advertise on Facebook, Instagram, Google, TikTok, and LinkedIn. The second pillar consists of email marketing, which is an essential part for successfully scaling brands, especially this time when PPC has really gotten expensive compared to years prior. And the last pillar is conversion rate optimization, where we focus on product pages, landing pages, upsells, cross-sells, loyalty programs, and so on.
Nice.
And that's pretty much it.
Nice. Okay, cool. And in your kind of experience, how do you see so the paid social side fitting in with email marketing? Because I think you guys both do a little bit of both. And so, yeah, why do you think they sort of work so well together?
Well, first of all, based on our experience, a lot of brands that haven't done email marketing in the past think that using email is one of their platforms to talk with their customers. Is just sending out a bunch of emails to a large base, which they can attain from different providers. But obviously, it is so much more than that. So to answer your question, I think that it's pretty straightforward. They complement each other in a way that for a brand, it is much more cost efficient and effective, especially now when I said like the price of advertising online has increased. And we have lost a lot of tracking abilities as well due to iOS 14. So you can use paid channels to attract new people on your website. And where email comes in handy is that you can communicate with your leads pretty much cost-free compared to, let's say, remarketing campaigns done on paid channels. I mean, once you get their email, right, you can also guide them through the whole customer journey and just in general, make it more intimate communication with your leads. So basically using both paid and email increases your chances of converting new leads into customers compared to just using paid channels.
Yeah, interesting. We see that working really well, particularly when we work with clients who are also working with a paid social agency or have that in-house. It's the combination of both, and personalizing it as much as possible to try and nurture those customers and convert them, but also retain them over the long run. Cool. Okay. And do you have any examples of that you can share where it's worked really well to combine the two paid social and email to really enhance that customer experience and make sure it's a really personalized experience?
Yeah, I mean, I can share a case study with you as well. But first of all, I would like to dissect this into two sections because we do e-commerce and service-based businesses.
Okay.
It's a different because using both paid channels and email marketing for e-commerce and service-based businesses is a lot different. If we start, let's say, with service-based businesses where paid and email come together is obviously with lead generation, which obviously you know what it is. And I think the easiest way of describing what it is if I share you an actual framework that we use, which is basically paid channels to attract new people on our landing pages, not a home page. Obviously, it has to be a landing page because they're an essential part when it comes to building a successful lead generation campaign. So when they come to the landing page, our number one goal is obviously to get their email. But as we all know, it's quite a challenge. It's really hard to get someone's email. So the question is, how do you get their email, right? You have to be very creative and very specific. I'm going to give you an example. One of our clients, which are now doing really well due to our framework, they're a health and beauty clinic, which recently started providing IV therapies as well. And they wanted to scale IV therapies specifically. So what we did is we looked at what is the number one reason people come to have IV therapies in the first place. And in our case, it was burnout. So we leveraged paid channels and targeted people that are looking for how to treat burnout, and people who are very busy in general that might not even know that they're on their way to a complete burnout.
Yeah.
So how we got their email on the landing page, which was specifically written for burnout, is by giving them an online questionnaire where we asked them specific questions, which gave them a result telling them at which stage of a burnout they are at the moment, right?
Yeah.
So this is personalization.
Yeah.
So, and this is where email comes to do its job. Once they completed a questionnaire, we redirected them again to another landing page, which was again written specifically for their result, but also they entered a flow or email automation where they started receiving emails with more information about their stage of burnout, how bad is it, if they don't treat it, and how we can actually help them, and so on. And this is basically a basic overview of a framework that we've used, and it works like a charm. And we use this framework with all of our service-based clients as well. So if we go now, so this is pretty much, the framework that we use for lead generation. We try to get an incentive. We try to get, something that is very tailored to them, something very custom, something very specific. And this is, it increases your chances of getting their email. I think that is pretty much essential. But if we go to e-commerce, for example, landscape is, as I said before, is a bit different. We don't always use lead generation campaigns for e-commerce brands, only when it makes sense. If, let's say, their product is a bit expensive, it might be a good thing to use lead generation as well, to first build the relationship with them and then ease in on the actual sales. So with e-commerce, we always try to get their email as soon as we can. We usually do that with welcome pop-ups where we give them an incentive to make the first purchase. That could be anything like a 10% discount or 20 pound coupon or whatever it is that you can actually offer them. And that's pretty much it. The charm of using email automation, obviously, is you can send emails to your leads at basically every stage of their customer journey, as you probably know what I'm talking about. So.
No, and that's really interesting you say that, particularly on the first example with the quiz and getting people to almost self-diagnose and tell you a little bit more information about themselves so that you can then customize and personalize that journey. We've seen that working really well with a couple of clients recently, particularly in the kind of the health space, when people maybe land on a website and don't necessarily know what they need, and just helping them go through that kind of diagnosis sort of solution or framework. It not only enables you to personalize the journey, but also gives them the kind of the answer they're looking for in terms of that kind of personalized experience, and showing them what's needed and what you can offer. For sure. It's my dog shaking in the background. I don't know if you can hear that.
You have very easy ways of making it like you can take baby steps. Obviously, you don't need to go through the whole lead generation campaign. If you are already offering welcome pop-ups and you cater to both genders, right? You have male and female, let's say, a clothing brand, right? What I've noticed is not a lot of brands actually use the gender, like where you can actually tick whether you're male or a female. So you can actually then later on, specifically tell them, look, this is I don't know, top 10 t-shirts for this summer, and they can be specifically targeted towards males only, because if you're a female and you get an email for top 10 male shirts, it's not going to be relevant to you, right? So it's not going to have an engagement that you're looking for. So that's pretty much it.
The other thing we've seen work quite well is using not just a quiz, but maybe a two-step form. So you're capturing email address in the first part of that form, and then for example, gender is a great example in that second step. So it's just a good way of kind of breaking that down and getting more information. Cool. All right. And what if you had to nail down sort of 3, or distill all of this into 3 top tips for people going forwards, what would they be?
Well, obviously the first one is the one that we just talked about. Try to complement each other in a way that it makes sense. So paid and email is what I'm talking about. Just use an example or a case study, which I told you before, for lead generation. I think that's very, very essential. I mean, try to be smart about it. Try to use paid, to get, it's not a right example. Don't get cheap traffic. What I'm trying to say is try to get their email as soon as you can. So that's what I mean by complement each other in a way that it makes sense. And the second one, what I would say is try to be specific as you can possibly be.
Yeah.
The more tailored your ad copy, email copy, and landing pages are, the more chances you have of actually converting new people into like long-term customers. And the third one, it goes without saying. I really believe that. I know everybody is saying that, but test, and just test all the time. Especially when it comes to advertising, it's all about testing and optimizing.
Yeah.
Obviously, you also have to test landing pages, A/B test bodies of your email, subject lines, pre-header tags, sending times, and so on. So just test as much as you can and try to optimize as quickly as you can so you can get better results as soon as you can.
Yeah, I think that's so important. It's so easy to just set it and forget it, isn't it? But it's always about the testing, optimizing. Yeah.
I mean, it's really like, as I said, it goes without saying. I think you really have to be thorough when it comes to testing and be very smart about testing. Know what you are testing, so don't go, with too much tests, because at the end of the day, you're not going to know what it is that you actually tested out, and which results can actually help you out. So be very smart about it and do a lot of it. Yeah. That's my three. That's my three tips.
Good 3 tips. Cool, great. Thanks, Chet. Really great to have you. And thanks very much for sharing all your useful tips. Thanks.